your morning routine like? What do you do when you wake up in the morning? So here with me, I have Abiola and I have Apola here, and we're going to talk about what we do in the morning coming up. So hello guys, and there's Abiola, an edtech consultant, and this is Apola, a general hustling consultant. And they're here today to talk about their morning routines and what their morning routines is like. We're going to be starting with mini mani moo. Father has a donkey and his father cried mini mani moo. So we're starting with Abiola. What's your morning routine like? What do you do when you wake up in the morning?
Thank you, Dabo. I think I have two sections of the morning. I have the pre-school runs part of the morning, and I have post-school runs part of the morning. Let me start with the preschool runs part of the morning. Actually, I wake up to appreciate life. So the first 10 minutes is for me to reflect on God's mercy, His purpose for my life, why I decided to make it to be alive today. So it's just a way for it to be thankful, to show gratitude to God and all of that. So that 10 minutes, I call it the golden 10 minutes. It's just for me to make my being come to life. Then after that 10 minutes, I jump up to now stretch. I stretch because I was told at the gym that when you sleep in the night, your lungs, you have more blood in your lungs than your heart. So it's better you stretch, push out the lungs so that the blood can go back to the heart and start circulating. So I do that for the next 15-20 minutes. So it just get me to warm up. Then with the sweat and everything, I just get to the bathroom, eat for the day, clean up, and coming out from there, I dress up. I look at myself in the mirror and say, Abiola, a world changer is ready to go out. So I speak positive things to myself.
Affirmation.
An affirmation. Then get to my drawing board, look at all my tasks for the day, delegate ahead and all of that. Then with a cup of coffee, I'm set. By 7:30, the whole family gets to the car. Then I drop them at the school, my wife too at the school. Then I'm at the office 8 o'clock. So that's the pre-school run. So within 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I look at those strategies again. I delegate. Now this is now the time for execution. So I execute at that time. So I do that for the first half from 8 a.m. to about 9. Then from 9 o'clock, I pop onto put on my laptop. Then check on my mails with the temptation of going to Facebook and some kind of stuff. But I try to discipline myself to actually face my mails, respond to mails, initiate new business opportunities and all of that. Then afterward, sometimes after delegation, I may have to do some things myself, going for meetings and all of that. So I try to wrap up between that 9 till 11:45. And the nature in me is that anything 11:45 the day is over. So I can hardly do anything creative. And of recent I started
11:45 morning, 11:45 evening is this time. No, that's not
11:45 a.m.
What's Guinness again?
17:59. Yeah. So I just noticed that I'm thinking I'll start spending my 12 noon till like 3 p.m. on playing golf. Because I hardly do anything creative. If you ask me, I will give you the most stupid answer within that period. So that's how my morning go from about 6:30 or 5:30 till 11:45.
Every other thing is saturation.
Yeah, every other thing is saturation.
That's going. Yeah. You're lucky. Don't do Facebook. You can just distract you. Just put you on a different.
So I always get late news because from that 11:45 I start going to social media to check things. So someone like Dabo and Apola must have known that Adi has bought Chevron Netherlands.
Okay, so Apola, routine. What you do every day? Morning routine. It's not consistent anyway, but most importantly, I sleep in the morning and wake up in the morning. So if I sleep by 1 a.m., 2 a.m., this morning then I wake up at 5? Sometimes before my wife who wakes up at 4:30. So once I wake up, of course when I wake up in the morning I thank God for life. I try, back then I used to jog until I had a sprain on my ankle, but even now, jogging is another thing I hope to get back to soon, because the suit is another thing. I mean, you all will know what we're going through in River State. So my exercise habit hasn't been very good, but then I have other things that are lined up that I sometimes do, not every now and again. But we all know how addicted we can be with our phones and our gadgets. So I drink water, a bottle of 75cl water at least. That pushes me to use the toilet. And when I get there, I go in with either my phone, my iPad, or my Kindle to read. So even when I'm done, I still stay there. Now when I go with my phone, most often than not, I call this man to tell me, did you hear this? Did you see this? Did you? So the conversation can go back and forth. And
very funny enough, I'm usually in the toilet.
Yeah, and I can tell. I can actually tell when he's in toilet, because when anybody's in toilet, I mean, this is my habit.
Echo.
It echoes. There's something about the bath, so when you call, it echoes. So after that, when I'm able to come out, I mean, if my wife tells me, please now help me now, so at some point I have to come out and either dress my daughter or bathe her and dress her, then prepare to take her to school. That means I have to rush my bath. But if I'm not dragged out and I come out, I have to go through my list. I have a to-do list. So I check what I didn't do the previous day, and if I can do it that day, bring it forward. Go through my meals briefly, call whoever I have to call to get on site as early as possible. Then take my daughter and my wife, drop my daughter in school, which is very close to the house. It's less than a minute drive. Then my wife to work, and the moment I leave her office, I then think in my head, I don't use the list this time around, but the closest place for me to go in getting those things done. At some point, I'll go back to the list, but then I just have to get things done. Make calls, mails, and you want to know, I mean, I'm driving and doing these things, not necessarily. Most times I park to send the sharp mail, I call, I use the cast speakers to talk on phone, which is good. There's hands-free everywhere. So my morning routine isn't boring, but it's dynamic actually. What I've said now is what I can remember, but there are some other things that come very
it could be very conditional.
I might be driving past maybe Abiola's office and I say, oh, I'm supposed to see Abiola for something, and this is like 8:30 and I know he's going to be in the office, and I stop by and have a meeting for, supposed to be a 20 minutes meeting, it turns out to be a 2-hour meeting. It's still part of the morning routine. That's what we do.
Alright, so we've heard what their morning routines are like. Basically, my morning routine is wake up, instant prayer, go for a quick run, rush a coffee, then spend the rest of the time in the morning, or at least a good chunk of the early mornings in the toilet. It is there I go with a book, I go with my phone, I try to armor myself with as much information. That's why I put my day into perspective, take notes, receive calls, and all of that. And this is like the third take of this video recording. And in the other takes, Apola have talked about what the
best part of the morning. But then again, I realized something, that in all we said, nobody said anything about eating. You see, there was this information that is spreading that people that don't eat their breakfast tend to get retarded faster. I just agree with them, because none of us, we've talked about God and all of that. They say you should eat like a king in the morning, but nobody talked about food here, because truly we really don't eat. We eat on the go, big finger foods and all that.
Breakfast is not.
It's more like a luxury these days.
Well, it's not even my favorite part of it.
I think
I'm good for brunch, like a heavy brunch or breakfast.
From 10:30, 11, 12, you start feeling hunger pangs.
Yeah.
So at that point, you know, well, I need to eat. But that morning, you have this adrenaline rush. You need to get things done.
Why waste a good fast?
This is quite different from me. I have a wife that loves to cook.
Yeah, my wife packs because she knows I won't sit to eat.
So you have to eat that breakfast.
No, my wife packs the food. So it's in the boot. But no, sometimes I come here and I have food.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes his wife sends.
Yeah. Because she knows I'm going to get to see him.
Yeah.
He would not have eaten, but he must have taken coffee.
Yeah.
Like you guys, I don't take coffee because.
Oh really?
Yeah, I used to, but then I had some.
Yeah, I noticed like I take a 3-in-1, Nescafe 3-in-1, but I started noticing that whenever I take 3-in-1, it does one thing for me. That is, it makes me my digestive system. It just kind of soften my bowels. So I go to the toilet. It gives me that rush to that adrenaline rush. But then I started feeling like there's just too much maybe sugar in it, and there's this adverse effect it has on me. After I start feeling like I have acid reflux and all of that, so I started cutting back on taking 3-in-1 Nescafe coffee and going for other coffee.
I felt like that at some point with coffee. Then I switched to ginger tea. Yeah, so ginger actually helps also.
Ginger tea is good because it stops nausea, and it's still good for the digestive system.
It's still good. Then there are different variants.
I remember one time we're always drinking ginger tea.
That's not ginger tea, but I'm just I don't know.
No, some are very spicy.
I drink a lot of
water. When you take
I take as much as 2-3 bottles.
Water is the ultimate medicine.
Yeah, it is.
It's the ultimate medicine. You can't just have. Funny enough, you spend a lot of money on drinking all kinds of beverage when water, you would have bought much more water than that.
Well, you can't help it anyway.
Yeah, maybe age is kicking in.
Well, for me, my Friday, I don't know. My Friday is TGI.
No, but that's Friday.
So
we are still in the morning routine.
But TGI starts from the morning routine.
That's like when you sleep in the morning and wake up in the morning. So there are some. Our mornings could be conditional, just like yours is dynamic. When if you're going to be sleeping like 1 a.m. or 3 a.m., then you have to still wake up like 5 or 6 a.m. You're feeling really groggy, and you just have to find something that will push your system. And water, I think water.
Then somehow during the day you do like 1-2 power naps. It helps so that before you know it, you're up again till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. These things are things that help.
Well, sometimes for me, I find it difficult to take a nap during the day. I don't know why. But one thing I've been able to do, for myself is that towards the end of the day, from 9 p.m. I try to write. I call it journaling.
Yeah, journaling very powerful.
So it makes me to offload the day. In a diary.
Journal is a whole new ball game.
On its own. So it makes me to sleep. Sometimes.
Journaling.
Makes me to sleep. After writing, pondering on something.
It's like putting all
I just dump it there.
I'm done. I've treated it. I can go to sleep.
Yeah. So I write my regrets. Maybe I shouldn't have acted that way.
Really, you do that?
I do all that at the conclusion of my journaling. Maybe I should have treated it the other way around. Maybe if I listened a little bit more, maybe I would have.
Do you ever go back to the journals?
I go back to them once in a while.
Really?
If I have similar situation, I just go back. What did I say I would have done by then? So I tend to have something like a record that just makes me. Life is a repetition, and life throws itself at you like a lesson. It comes just a stroke, you don't learn. It comes back 2 strokes, you don't learn. It comes back 3 strokes. It keeps coming back harder and harder, and that's why a lot of people just find out that life is unfair because it keeps telling you the same thing: learn, but you don't want to learn.
So you just stop a different way.
Yeah, you have to do it differently. So and they come in the same pattern, but you just need to look at it closely. So
study the patterns.
Study the pattern. It's almost like this. Then what did I say I would have done then? Then you just adjust a little bit. You just find out that the very complex problem requires just a very simple solution. And that's it. So journaling actually helps because it keeps record of.
Maybe we would like to go through like the way we went through Paddy's. There are quite a number of lessons learned from Paddy's.
If you watch my 10 years as a CEO in TriSat on Facebook, I think I did almost 6 episodes.
Serious?
Yeah, I talk about my life as a CEO in TriSat for 10 years. What are the lessons I learned? I told them, and at the beginning I said, I'm not going to talk about success stories. I have good ones I can talk about. But that's not it. I want to tell you what makes me successful, the failures that actually make me to be successful. So if you go through my Facebook wall, you see some of those lessons there. Where I talk about buyer's power. About buyer's power. When you have a customer that gives you 70% of your revenue, you're in trouble. Because once that customer pulls the string, you're down. And I made the mistake 2 times in 10 years. So when I got to LBS and we're in a class session and we're doing business strategy, and they talk about Michael Porter's 5 forces of strategy, and talks about buyer's power, supplier's power as well. When most of your inventory is coming from a single supplier, or 70% of your inventory is coming from a single supplier, then you're in trouble. The day the guy decides to increase the price, you have no choice. The day he chooses to pull the string, you're down. So, but when I learned those lessons, I was religious about it. I want this to be short for another to be open. I was stupid, but I did it 2 times, and I almost went down completely. But I came up again anyway. But maybe one of those is about business strategy, is how CEOs can survive, the turbulence in the first 10 years or the first 5 years. But I think I have quite a lot of stories to talk about. So back to our money routine. I think before you get to the morning, upload the previous day somewhere. Okay. Then chart your course for the new day, and continue to be prayerful, be strategic, be tactical. Sometimes you just have to go bullish. Don't mind that some people will be hot, but just have to
lionish. Oh, that's a new one. Point for the people between 30, 40.
Yes.
30,
from 29.
From 29 lionish.
So below 29.
Below. I don't know.
Anyway, please like this video, subscribe, share, and we'll see you again and talk maybe on more interesting topics. Don't forget Daboski is a channel for personal growth and DIY basically, but more importantly personal growth, because this is just a journey, a self-development journey for all of us here. So please, until we meet next time, thanks.
See you in the next 5 episodes. Next 5.